So Morbius.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of All Things Super. You didn't do anything. You didn't do a thing at all.
I did something.
You didn't do anything. I'm starting the show.
I thought I did something.
No, you didn't do anything. Here he goes. Welcome back to another episode of All Things Super, where we review and recap all things related to the superhero. Oh my god! All things related to the superhero genre. We ask the question: is it super? Today we are going to be reviewing and recapping Sony Pictures Studios Morbius.
Why are you laughing? What's going on?
Because I have opinions about this movie. But before we get into it, we're going to start this thing off. We're going to do a spoiler-free section. We're going to talk about what we thought about the movie, and then we're going to give you a warning to let you know when we get into spoiler territory and talk more in depth about the movie.
I cut you off, dude. You're supposed to do your whole introduction and say who you was and who I was.
See, you didn't mess me up.
I messed you up.
Yeah, you messed me up. You threw me off my flow.
Don't even know that.
You threw me off my flow.
I do.
Shouldn't be what you do.
I do something.
I'm one of your hosts. I am Spider. I am joined by the incomparable Mr. VIP, Frankie Washington. How are you doing today, sir?
That is what I've been known to be defined as, incomparable. That means awesome, right?
Yes, that means that no one can compare to you.
Same thing. Yeah, I'll take it.
What's going on, man?
How are you, sir? Well, hello, world. Welcome back to this thing. I'm surprised as you are that you're here. But we're going to make it a good one, though.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. But yeah, like I said,
they tuned in because they like the chaos.
I hope so, because there's going to be a lot of it. It's going to be a lot of it.
Morbius.
So, like I said, we're reviewing Sony Pictures Morbius in association with Marvel. They made a big point to reference that in association with Marvel.
You gotta put your name on your shit because people out here stealing. You gotta put your name on your shit, man. You know this back and forth between Marvel and Sony's been going on for a while.
Yeah.
Listen, as an audience member, as a fan of these characters, I enjoy this co-collaboration that we're doing because I don't think Civil War and Endgame and Infinity War would have been the same without our good friend, the friendly neighborhood Spider. Also, dramatic effect. 3, 2, 1. Man, I do a shout out in the movie. So I'm glad they're able to come to a good agreement. And I think Sony got the better end of the deal because when the Andrew Toby crossover came through, it's kind of like the MCU saying, yeah, we know these suck, but go ahead and give them a nod and just like, don't hate them as much. Because they acknowledge those worlds exist. Mm-hmm. So now Sony can go off and spin their own little web of Spider-Verses with Andrew Garfield and bring that sinister... That was some CGI looking shit right there, buddy.
Listen,
bring that Sinister Six.
Budget's still not here yet. We're working on it. We're getting there. We're building up to it.
Okay. Is Morbius super?
We're going to find out.
About to find out.
Well, like I said, we're going to give a spoiler-free review first. We're going to do just general overview, our general feelings.
Who told you that we're doing spoiler-free?
I'm saying that we're doing spoiler-free. Listen, we're doing spoiler-free.
Spoiler King?
Because the movie just came out.
I don't know where he is. I'm looking for him.
The movie just came out, so we're going to do spoiler-free. And then after we give our general reviews, gonna go and do a little bit in depth. We're gonna get into spoiler territory. So
I'm not doing spoiler free. That's right. I said it. Listen, be close up on y'all so y'all can hear me clearly. I'm spoiling the shit. Go see the movie. If you ain't seen the movie, you might want to stop the video right now and go see the movie and come back and say, okay, he ain't spoiled shit because I saw the movie. I ain't promise. I don't know. Look, I'm gonna say how I feel about the movie, and you go listen and you go tell me in the comments how you feel, and I'm gonna read. That's how this works. It's a give and take relationship. So I might say something that's in the movie that you ain't seen, and so I'm sorry. Am I? I really know.
See what you just did right there was a spoiler.
We have the budget to put a. We have a button that I can do when I do my hand like this. You go spoiler warning. The budget for that.
You're asking for too much.
Damn it. Can we put some? Y'all hit the like button, follow, subscribe, and share notifications. So it's hard out here for a pimp. Something like a pimp, Spider. This is my cup. Something like a pimp. Close to it. I know the yeah, you know what I told you earlier. All right, so I know the guy that's the cousin of the sister, the neighbor of the friend of the garbage man that live around the corner from the guy with the house. They cut the grass for a pimp. It's like we so this something like a pimp. Close to it. Okay.
I was just letting you get it all out.
Something like it. I'm close to it. If you knew the dude that cut the grass, neighbor, sister, friend, you would know what I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
So close to pimping. This is
so close.
Need a pinky ring. Put it to the moon. Morbius. Come on, tell the people how you feel. Don't focusing on the wrong thing, man. Come on, give the people what they want. Give the people the insight of our good friend Jared Leto. Now, I'm on record saying Jared Leto is a phenomenal actor. I know what I said. And I stand by what I said. The movie was popping. I'm just letting you know. I liked it. I actually seen some early reviews of it, and everyone was saying that it sucked. We don't know what universe is in. This movie trash. Michael Morbius trash. I took out the trash. I lay in trash. I eat trash. And I'm like, what am I reading?
Exactly.
What am I reading?
How did you
Who wrote this?
You went from movie reviews to Yelp reviews. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm like, what am I reading?
You're in Yelp reviews from an Airbnb. How did you make that transition?
I have no idea about, I guess, I don't know. Anyway, so the reviews were in early and they were saying that it's not good. I don't listen to y'all because y'all don't know what y'all talking about. I give things my own views and I have my own issues and my own opinions about it. If your opinions may happen to share the narrative of mine and you feel kind of how I feel, then you're one of the people that agree with my thought process on some things. Maybe because there may be some things you don't agree with. And that's okay. It's all a conversation. This is all just entertainment. And I think the movie was bussin'. So, because you feel your way, I'm not saying you can't feel your way. I just so happen to enjoy the movie. I thought it was good. I thought it was very different. I love the CGI in it. It made sense. The story was nice. Here's the really funny part. And this is because we exist, Spider. This is what you don't like. And I think this is where all the hate came from. Studios know that we as a community exist. Right? So to build up hype for their movie, and not to give the whole story away in the trailers, Sony has picked up the art of deception.
Right.
Because if you've seen the Morbius movie trailers, you were looking for these key scenes in the movie that wasn't there.
Right.
It was a totally different movie from the trailers that you saw. So you probably felt like you were lied to. You probably felt deceived. But if you paid attention to the beats, like the story beats that they're saying, they're still in there. You still got a world that potentially Spider-Man is in.
Uh-huh.
You still got your Vulture reveal with a cool new upgraded suit. And you're getting the idea of a Sinister Six team up. But that's later on. Told you I was gonna spoil it.
Uh-huh.
That's later on. And the fact of you got all this in a movie that you thought was going one way, but kind of went a different way. Because as you can listen to the trailers, a lot of times Tyrese was talking to the good doctor. He was actually talking to the other doctor. So it was quite interesting how they did the deception. But the movie as a whole, it works. I don't really have any real negative feelings about it whatsoever. Love the CGI, love the acting, love the storyline. And that's it. Yep, good show.
So, like, comment, subscribe, wrap it up.
Roll the credits. Yeah. Good episode. That's it.
All right.
Frankie ain't got shit to say.
See you guys next time.
Who thought that day would happen? Spider, tell the people how you feel.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like the movie. I didn't like the
Are
movie.
you fucking shitting me?
I didn't like it.
Wow.
And it's not because of the reasons that you...
Return of Everest.
Listen, if I have standards, just because they don't meet your standards doesn't mean that I have incredibly high
Captain
standards.
Marvel can't reach your standards. Captain Marvel can't shoot out into space and reach those standards.
I said I like Captain Marvel. Why do you keep thinking that I didn't like Captain Marvel? See, this man has made up an own narrative in his mind where he thinks that I don't like movies that I say that I like.
All I'm saying is Captain Marvel can't reach your standards.
How would you say that Captain Marvel can't reach my standards when I say that I like Captain Marvel? You yourself say that there were things wrong with Captain Marvel.
I mean, the character Captain Marvel cannot fly to your standards because they're so out of here. No one can reach your standards. How can you not like Morbius?
Because...
I gotta hear this. Let me hear this.
All right.
Let me hear this.
First of all,
Buckle up, y'all.
Because Mr. VIP Franken Washington said himself that he wanted to spoil the movie, so we're already in spoiler territory. So if you're still listening, we getting into it. If you haven't seen the movie, then give us a pause, go watch the movie, come back, and you can hear the rest of the episode. So you have been warned.
I done spoiled the movie already, dude. I done spoiled the movie.
I know that. I'm saying to the people because whatever. So we want to talk about the Vulture. So you're talking about the scenes in the trailer because they had the picture of Spider-Man on the wall when Morbius was walking down the street. They had the scene with Adrian Toomes getting put into a police vehicle while Morbius was walking into the building. It's like, hey, Doc, me and you need to stay in touch, all this other kind of stuff. I didn't care. I didn't care that those scenes were in the movie. That's not the reason why I didn't like the movie. If we're going to talk about this post-credit scene, first of all, this post-credit scene doesn't make sense because it broke the rules of what was established in Spider-Man No Way Home. So we get the cracks in the sky, right? Toomes is brought to this universe. This was called the Venom universe. Why? Why was Adrian Toomes brought to this universe? If the rules that was set up in Spider-Man No Way Home was that anyone who knew that Spider-Man was Peter Parker was brought to the MCU universe, right? You shaking your head no.
I'm shaking my head no. Objection.
So where am I wrong? Where am I wrong?
you're not wrong. You're just thinking too narrowly.
How am I thinking
'Cause you're
narrowly?
not
These were the
doing
rules that were set forth in the movie.
expand.
These were the rules that were
But
set
you
forth in the movie. Then why is this person being taken from their home universe and put into another universe that they didn't originally belong
because
to?
it's the multiverse of madness,
This is
baby.
not the multiverse of
Yeah.
madness. This is Morbius. This has nothing to do with the multiverse of madness. There's no reason,
It's
or at least
madness.
it's not explained, because why would he be the only one that's brought to another universe? Nobody else in their original universe was sent to another universe. Venom got sent back to where he came from. Dr. Octopus, Electro, Sandman, Lizard, Green Goblin, the other two Spider-Mans, they all went back to their home universes. Nobody from
Don't
the
know that.
MCU, well, they left the MCU universe. So
Exactly.
why?
You have no idea where they went.
But why would someone who was already originated in the MCU universe brought to another universe? They didn't show anybody
You don't
else.
know
They
how
didn't show
you
anybody
know
else from the
very
MCU universe.
little
It's
about
stupid.
the multiverse.
It's dumb to introduce. It's dumb to introduce something like that in a post-credit scene and give no explanation about it. Because you give us a whole movie explaining that these people got brought in from a different universe because of this spell, and naturally you would think the people who were brought into the universe that didn't belong, they got sent back. They got sent back away from this universe that they didn't belong in. Why would you take someone who belongs in this universe and send them someone else? There's no explanation to that. It doesn't make sense.
There will be. There will be an explanation.
It doesn't make sense.
'Cause
It doesn't make sense.
That's an Easter egg.
It doesn't make sense.
That's an Easter egg.
It's stupid. It's a
Madam
stupid
Web is going to explain that to everybody in the Spider-Verse world.
It doesn't make
It's
sense.
gonna make so much sense.
No.
That's an Easter egg.
Nope. It's,
Oh my God.
it's dumb.
It's
It's
an
dumb.
Easter egg.
It's dumb.
Can't believe. No, it's a setup.
No, that's not a setup.
It's a setup. It's a
that's-
setup.
That seems like a glaring plot hole.
Is it a setup? Comment down in the comments if anybody
Let
wants
us
to
know
say
if it's a setup.
the truth about it being a setup. It's a setup.
Second post-credit scene.
later.
Second post-credit scene was just poorly acted. The dialogue between them, it made no sense. Why? Okay, so first off, in Spider-Man Homecoming,
Okay.
Adrian Toomes built his suit based off of Chitauri scraps from the attack on New York.
You are absolutely correct.
So where did he build this suit from in this new Venom universe?
He didn't build it there because he wasn't there. He's clearly a variant. Come on, man. You guys get to this level and y'all forget all y'all training. We're in a multiverse of madness.
No, you are making
Listen, we just had a conversation about Sony and Marvel playing in the same sandbox, sharing their toys.
and it
Now
makes
you're getting upset
because it makes no sense.
This is why people play by themselves, because you don't get the overall story. It's a multiverse of madness. Doctor Strange has to save everybody because you got heroes here and villains here, and Toby and Andrew's here, and Michael Keaton's here, and he's Batman. And listen, this is the only way that Warner Brothers can catch up with the DC.
We're not even
Make this
talking
stuff
about
right.
Warner Brothers right now. This has nothing to do with Warner Brothers.
I'm giving you the inside scoop, baby. Don't get mad at me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just letting you know this is the way, because multiverses exist in the world of comics.
Right.
So what they're doing is being meta and showing you how it's all screwed up. That's all that's happening. Doctor Strange go save us all.
So getting to the
Right?
core of the movie.
Right?
Getting to the core of the movie. The actual movie in and of itself. Okay? So movie starts off Morbius in Costa Rica. Getting bats.
Morbius is in Costa Rica.
He's getting bats.
Bat collector. I mean, that wasn't the coolest shit. You know you're going bat hunting with. Batman don't bat hunt. Batman Bats was already in this cave when he moved in. This man putting in the work, going out, getting his own bats. Look at that. Go ahead, man.
I see you feel very strongly about this movie.
on Morbius, man?
Because I didn't like it. You asked me what I thought about the movie. I'm telling you I didn't like it, and I'm telling you why I didn't like it.
I ain't hear a valid reason yet.
Okay. Oh, because I don't share your opinions, that means that my reasons aren't valid.
No, I didn't say that.
That's what you just
didn't
said.
Hear I didn't hear a valid reason yet. I'm sure you have one.
All right. Anyway.
From way up there on Everest.
Yeah, because my standards are just so high that, you know,
I'm glad we agree.
Poorly written movies. I was being sarcastic.
Oh, I thought you were saying Morbius was written poorly.
It was written poorly. What are you talking about? What did we agree on that?
I thought Morbius was great.
You are confusing me.
I'm confusing.
Yes, you are. But no, the review that came out about Morbius being like, oh, it's a horrible movie, it's the worst movie ever. No, I don't agree that it was the worst movie ever. It wasn't great. I didn't like it, but it's not as bad as what people are shitting on it for. I will say that. It's not the worst movie ever. It's not the worst superhero movie ever.
Let me ask you this. Why do you think people are shitting on it?
Why do I think that people are giving this movie such bad reviews? Because people have this. You want to talk about high expectations? People have these high expectations about superhero movies. It's the same thing about Batman versus Superman. Because you have Batman vs. Superman was not as bad as people made it out to be. Yes, there were problems with Batman vs. Superman. Yes, there were things that didn't make sense in Batman vs. Superman. But because people have these high expectations about these superhero movies, if anything is wrong, or if there's anything that comic fans and comic book readers, if they don't agree on it, then they go and they blast it with all of these different negative reviews. And then the critics are the same way, because critics don't necessarily understand the nuances of superhero movies. Critics will give it bad reviews, but they give it bad reviews off of what they deem to be a technical standpoint. The fans will give it a bad review off of, like you said, this didn't match up in this trailer. This information wasn't shown. This doesn't keep in with the source material out of the comic books. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was a good movie because of the way that the story was laid out. The story, it was a straightforward story, but it was a flat, straightforward story. This is my thing, okay? It was basically, there was no, in my opinion, there was no development of any of the characters, in my opinion. So we had Michael Morbius. Of course, he has this degenerative disease. They lay it out at the beginning of the movie. He needs 3 blood transfusions a day. He gets they're in this orphanage type hospital place. He gets a roommate or a bedmate, a bunkmate or whatever. Kid sleeps next to him. He introduced himself as Lucian. Morbius calls him Milo. He said, you're the 12th Milo. There was a Milo before you. There was a Milo before him. So I'm just going to call you Milo. Why? I understand if that's going to be your nickname. He calls you that while you're with him. Why, after he leaves, for the next 25 years, you are still calling yourself Milo? Did you not like your own name? Because when you first introduced yourself, you said, my name is not Milo, it's Lucian. But for the next 25 years, not only did Morbius still call you Milo, the doctor still called you Milo, the Dr. Bancroft, she called you Milo. Everybody, why are you going by Milo? Milo is not your name. Why? Why would you hold on to that?
It's endearing.
No, that wasn't endearing. That was, I don't care enough about you. I just met you. You're going to die in I don't know how long, and somebody's going to replace you, and then they're going to be a new Milo. So I'm not going to take the time to even call you by your own name. That's what that was. That wasn't endearing.
You calling Michael Morbius a dick? As a kid?
When Lucian introduced himself, because it's like, if you walk up to somebody like, hey, how you doing? I'm Mr. VIP Frank in Washington. And like, all right, Jeff.
I do that often.
But they're like, okay, Jeff. And it's like, but my name is not Jeff. It's like, I don't care. Everybody I know that walked through this door, they're Jeff. So you're going to be Jeff. And for the rest of your life that you know this person, they're going to call you Jeff. Wouldn't you feel disrespected?
I would not have conversations with those people. I have people call me the wrong name all the time. I just think they have a mental disability, and I'm not responsible for answering for their mental disabilities.
True, but would you consider any of those people to be your best friend, your brother?
No, no, I would not even have interactions with those individuals if it had, that wouldn't have to, because they wouldn't have the decency to know the basic thing, which is my name,
Right.
to even address me.
Right.
But that doesn't answer the question that I asked. So you are calling Michael Morbius as a child, grade A dick.
If you are not going to treat someone with basic human decency when they introduce themselves and give you their name, and you refuse to call them by that name, then yeah, you're a dick.
So young dicks. He's a young dick.
When he was younger,
call a dick a dick. If it's a dick, it's a dick.
Listen, I'm not using that particular phrasing, that those two words next to each other, because I'm not trying to get flagged on anything.
Oh wow!
I'm just saying. You said it. I did.
Speaking of which, how many f-bombs are we allowed on here?
I think on YouTube you have to like keep your first, I want to say like first 30 to 45 seconds clean, and then that would keep you from being demonetized.
Never, bro.
No, so far the videos that we put up, our first like couple of minutes are always clean. So we're good.
Thank God for that.
And if it ever comes in a situation where we drop a fuck or shit or something at the beginning of the episode, I'll cut around it. I'll bleep it out or whatever.
A lot of dicks to cut out. Just letting you know.
There were no dicks at the beginning of the episode. But anyway, just that's one of my issues just with the writing, because it made no sense. The character, even in the comic books, his best friend had a name and it wasn't Milo. But it's like, well, it was Milo in the comic books, but still, if his name is going to be Milo, why not just name him Milo? Why name him Lucian first and then just call him Milo? Why not just name him Milo and let him introduce himself as Milo? It was an unnecessary point in my opinion. But going throughout the movie, so he's on the run. Well, even before he's on the run, so he's working on this. He developed this blue blood, the synthetic blood. He gets the Nobel Peace Prize for it. He turns down the Nobel Prize because to him it was a failed experiment because he was trying to cure himself and that didn't cure him. That's fine. That's understanding. He wants to cure people. I understand that. So he gets back from stealing his bats. He gets into his laboratory where Dr. Martine Bancroft, who is his love interest in the movie, she comes in, questions him about his experiments because she sees that he's trying to splice human and animal DNA. She hits the little keypad on his little silo that he has in the middle of the room. Just a bunch of bats.
Cool.
It's cool.
It's cool.
The technology in the movie, the little like all the little stuff in there. Yeah, the VFX were cool up to a certain extent, but I'm gonna get to that in just a second. But the bats in the little silo in his room, that was cool. But the fact that, and we get into this later when he's trying to test out his abilities, he says that this is unethical. You're not supposed to do this. He's basically like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Trying to be coy, trying to be sly about it. That's another thing. And I know I'm jumping back and forth over different stuff. The humor that was supposed to be interjected into this movie, the jokes didn't land for me. It didn't seem. It wasn't funny. I understand Michael Morbius, and I don't know too much about the comics, but I know that Morbius was a character in the 1990s Spider-Man cartoon. Morbius, before he became a living vampire, he was a pretty boy. He had swag. He was a ladies' man. He was charming, which I understand, and I can see that they're trying to make Jared Leto's character charming. And it's not for a lack of effort on Jared Leto's part. He was given the lines. It just didn't seem endearing to me. He didn't seem like a charming person. Like, they had this flirtatious behavior between the two of them, but it didn't seem like, I don't know, it just, for whatever reason. And anybody in the comments, Mr. VIP, if you feel free to disagree with me, It's fine. But just for me, while I was watching the movie, I didn't.
Dying. He's dying, and you wanted to worry about getting some twat?
No, I'm not saying that I'm worried about it. Leave it out altogether. You know, if his main focus,
This right here is
is
my
on helping people on finding a cure for this disease, yeah, let that be his motivation. There doesn't necessarily need to be a love interest. It could have just been friends. You know, it didn't have to be a romantic thing. But it just
They were very professional, and you could take away from that relationship that they were professional with some flirtation in it. And you don't know if that was a love. You didn't see them in the bed together. You don't know if they barely kissed, and when they kissed, she bit his lip.
no,
I mean,
they still kissed before that.
that's I said they barely kissed. So,
But even
I mean, versus the occasional kiss that you would kiss somebody at work, you know.
right.
I don't know what people doing on their job.
I don't know. But even
Good
still,
morning.
it was just the whole thing about why he's trying to do this in secret. He's not supposed to be doing this. The whole splicing animal and human DNA is unethical. But we see that it's an open area. People can see inside of his office because while he's testing his abilities, the first thing he does says privacy shades on. So if you're not supposed to be doing this, why do you have like it's full to see? You know, you just anybody can walk in, see, all right, well, you have all these bats. Why?
The bats were hidden until she uncovered the bats. And like all scientists, they have their methods and means, which I'm pretty sure they have blinds or shades for those windows, just like they have for the hiding of the bats. So it could very well work in isolation. The real question you should be asking is, how long has his friend had the code to the door? Because clearly he's just coming in and taking shit that don't belong to him, getting juiced up. Now you got this bloodlust because
Well,
all you want to drink is reds. You didn't even want to try the blues.
they alluded to that when Dr. Bancroft did enter the code on the door and it showed all the bats because he said, well, how do you know my code? And she said, it's the, however many digits of pi reverse. Like, that's your code for everything. So if she knew that and Milo is supposedly his best friend, then obviously he would know that as well. So I understood that part.
Your best friend stole your shit.
He did. But jumping to that, so we see that Michael finds out he has these abilities. He's testing out. He's trying to see, how long it's going to take for him to be able to resist the craving for blood and all this other kind of stuff. He tests out all these abilities. And Milo...
He put a timer on, so now you feel some type of way about it. He put a timer, because the blues is...
the blue, right, the blue can only sustain it for so long. The red will keep him sustained for longer, but the red makes him more feral. It makes him more like an animal.
It's hard to fight that. Come on, man! They're giving you depth. They're giving you.
But we never saw it because it's like All right, so he says that he doesn't want to be that guy. He doesn't want to be hooked on the red to where he's killing people. I understand that. But show us that struggle. Show us that struggle.
You know, gonna be when you see that struggle is when he's fighting side by side with Blade. What? Did I just do another Sony MCU crossover? Yes, I did, bitches. It's gonna happen. You're gonna see Michael Morbius and Blade side by side fighting something. Yeah, I can't tell you everything, man. But you're gonna see if they're smart about it. They're gonna show you he's struggling, and Blade gonna have to say, "Hey, I'm gonna need you to snap out of it before I have to fucking stab you with this goddamn blade." Get it, blade? I'm sawing something. There's nothing in my hand, but I'm playing. Okay, never mind. Anyway, That's gonna be awesome, and it'll be worth the while. I can't believe you really didn't like this movie.
I don't know why you can't believe I didn't like it.
There's so much going great with this movie.
It's really not.
Should I call the movie Milo, and then you'll feel differently about it?
No, I mean that's only one issue that I have with the movie.
Oh, okay. Hey man, your views are your views. There's nothing wrong.
No, I'm not what I'm saying. Everybody's entitled to their own views, right? So
yeah,
I could be one of the few against the many.
It's just standards rising. They're getting really. Oh my god. Okay. Spider!
Let us know. Let me know in the comments if you think that if you've been listening to our episodes, if you've been watching our videos, let me know in the comments if my standards are too high. Let me know if my standards are too high. What divide? Where's the divide?
The divide is the people that appreciate great cinema and all things super. And then there's a spider's nest on the other side, just trapping standards. I don't know, and shoot them in the atmosphere. Just watching them ultimately fall because they'll never reach the heights of those expectations. Come on, man. Morbius was originally done. It wasn't the same traditional story beats. The way he discovered his ability to pull. No, wait. Why did you say that?
Because it's the same. There's a very tropey thing for superhero movies where you have the protagonist. They develop some type of abilities. And then the antagonist gets jealous of that protagonist because of their abilities. They steal those abilities from the protagonist, and then they end up having the same abilities as the protagonist. They end up fighting in the end. Antagonist dies. Same, not beat for beat, but that's what happened in Iron Man. Iron Man.
What happened at Meet the Robinsons? Disney. It's a Disney formula.
Yeah.
You remember
but this is not a Disney movie though.
They already merged.
Sony did not merge with Disney.
It's a multiverse of madness, buddy. Are you sure about that?
You're going out on this limb that everything.
Limb.
No, it is a limb because you're trying to explain away everything that's wrong with the movie as the multiverse.
The movie is awesome, sir.
The movie is not awesome.
I am correct until proven incorrect. There's a multiverse of madness going. You mean there's a multiverse? There's a multiverse of madness going on right now. You're watching it. Michael Keaton is here.
This is not even referring to the Michael Keaton part. This was before the Michael Keaton part even happened. So we're disregarding that. I've said my piece on that part. We have different opinions on it. This is not even about Michael Keaton. This is about Morbius being it's just not a good movie. Because all right, so you have Milo steals the serum. He goes onto the ship container out in international waters. Now I will say beyond the refusal to call Lucian by his real name and the refusal of Lucian even acknowledging his real name.
It really sits with you.
It does, because it's so stupid in my opinion. But the scene that we get when Michael goes to meet Milo, he goes to his apartment, his high-rise area, whatever, and he's like, well, let's take a walk because I want to explain to you like this plan that I have because this formula, it seems like it could work, but I need to experiment on it. Like the scene that they have where they're walking down the street, they're having a conversation, they go into the park, they're talking. That's a friendship that I can believe. The chemistry between Michael and Milo, it seemed like an actual friendship. I will give them that. The chemistry between Michael and Martine Bancroft, that relationship, it didn't seem like they had that same level of friendship as Michael and Milo. Michael and Milo's friendship, I believe. So that whole conversation they had, it was like, I need money. He was like, whenever I ever told you no, he was like, I've always had your back. Why Michael? Why is Milo rich and has all this money? I don't know. It's not explained, but they can leave it. That didn't bother me. Milo just has money. Milo's rich. Oh yeah, he's dead now. But what I'm saying is that in the movie, when he wasn't dead, it was never established that Milo came from money or Milo had any aspirations to become wealthy. There was never any Milo development as he grew up. We saw development that Michael was very intelligent, because when Milo's blood transfusion machine went down, Michael called for a nurse. And obviously there were no nurses in the area because nobody came to help the poor boy when he was sitting there about to die. But
it was on lunch. Union rules. How the union is, man. You got to give them their lunch. You can't take their lunch away.
So Michael opens the machine. He pulls out a fuse. Sees that the fuse is blown. He fixes it by using the spring from a pin. So we see that Michael is intelligent. We get the only character beat that we get from Milo.
By the way, that is extremely dangerous. Nobody should be doing that. That is Hollywood magic. Because you put a piece of metal in between two conductors.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna work.
You're gonna be the one. You're gonna be the one killing over, and you're not gonna be saving your Milo. But the only character development that we got from Milo is that we saw that he was aggressive. I mean, it wasn't just like he was unnecessarily aggressive. He had a letter.
Yeah, he was provoked.
Right. He had a letter from his best friend. The bullies wouldn't give it back to him. He was trying to get it back, so he fought back. And it's like, so that's not even like a character beat that we can say, oh, well, we saw that when he was a kid, he was overly aggressive. No, he was trying to get his letter back. He got beat up on. And then when a doctor came and broke it all up, he was still mad. So, I mean, I feel like that's a natural reaction for a kid. So we never...
Yeah, but at the same time, this is what they're trying to do. They're leaving that ambiguous situation there. So when these bodies start dropping, you were to think that it was Morbius. He was thinking that it was him that was killing these people because he couldn't really remember he's putting it together about what's going on. I killed these, and he acknowledged it. I killed people. I didn't mean to kill anybody. I can't give you this serum. I don't have control of this, and it will be irresponsible for me to give this to you. And you can't even control it because I know I can't control it. I'm doing everything that he almost died because he trapped himself in the containment because he did not want to hurt anybody else. And it was only when his best friend came, he had to write blood because he knew already that was the only thing that was keeping him alive.
But then he still gave him the blue blood instead. He didn't give him the red blood.
Because he didn't know.
Right, but what I'm saying is that
he was known for making synthetic blood, and so he's watching him drink this blood for the first time. So it's like something's going on.
What I'm saying is that he knew that at that point he knew that the red blood was he would get a different reaction from the red blood. He knew that the red blood, like, it makes me hungrier for more red blood. So it was like sort of addicting. But so he knew Milo gave him the blue blood. So when he went to sleep in the girl's room and then he woke up and he heard that, the nurse is dead and she's been drained of all her blood, he knows that he didn't have the red blood. He didn't have that urge to go out and go, because when he woke up, the alarm went off, so the effects hadn't worn off yet. So he wouldn't have gone out and killed her. Am I wrong?
To figure this thing out.
Am I wrong?
Still trying to figure this thing out, Playboy. Still trying to figure this thing out.
He tested it. He knows that he had a certain amount of time before.
Still making recorded notes, still writing stuff down, journaling. How fast you want the man to be? You want him to be Batman and figure it out like that.
I want to be Batman, but here's the thing where we don't see the exact time frame of when all of this happened. It shows him running a test, learning about the echolocation thing. Well, they didn't show it. They showed it in the trailer. He found out they had super strength. He has heightened, he can jump high and all this other kind of stuff. We don't know how long he's been testing this out. We don't know if this was just a day, if this was over a span of weeks. So if it was over a span of weeks to where he knows because it's established that he knows the different effects between the blue blood and the red blood, to the point to where he's locked himself in this room to isolate himself to test his limits. So Is he still new at it, or has he tested it enough to know his limits? You can't say that you can't say that he's still new if we don't know how long he's been testing it.
He might have thought he killed that nurse, but then he figured out that he didn't kill the nurse. And he figured it out very quickly. When he tried to run, he turned himself in. Let's be honest. He turned himself in. Mm-hmm. He had already become Morbius then, and they caught him. And he just turned himself in. He went to jail, and he showed restraint.
Right.
Sitting there being questioned by the authorities, saying, I knew the woman. He figured it out at that point in time that it wasn't him.
No,
he figured he didn't know exactly what happened, but he knew it wasn't him. He said
he figured it out after Milo visited him.
No, they questioned him before Milo visited him.
I know that, but I'm saying he didn't realize that there was another player in the game until after Milo visited him and left his cane behind in the cell.
I remember that reveal. I'm thinking that he figured it out while he was being questioned.
I think he was still feeling remorseful after that, because I think he still thought that he did it. But I'm saying I'm thinking that after they questioned him, he still think that he did it because he didn't know. Because at that point, he didn't know that there was anybody else that could do it. So who would it be if not for him?
I think he was realizing that it wasn't him. And this is just my interpretation, my opinion. I'm basing that off of the pure, marvelous acting done by Mr. Jared Leto that scene.
You want to know, Jared Leto is a good actor. Granted, the line of "I'm starting to get hungry, and you wouldn't like me when I'm hungry" was
shout out to the Hulk ball. that Hulk shout out.
It was bad. It was bad. It was bad.
A lot of them was cringy.
It wasn't a bad delivery. It was just a bad line to have in the movie. It was unnecessary. It was stupid.
I Am Venom line was bad.
Not so bad, but that one I was expecting because that one was in the trailer.
It has no place.
It doesn't have a place. It's not good writing. It's not good writing.
It doesn't tear down the whole movie.
But there was examples of that throughout the entire movie. The movie was not written well. Oh
my god! Oh, shots! Oh my god! Us in the vampire community. This Destiny's.
You can dust it off. You can dust all the haters off. The movie was not written well.
The movie was. Will it touch $1 billion?
No.
Ouch.
No, it won't.
Ouch.
It will not touch $1 billion. Will it exceed its budget? Yes, because the budget was only $75 million. It was a very cheap budget.
First of all, when they went back and started reworking some of this stuff, because I seen early footage, they invested well. The graphics look phenomenal in this.
The use of CGI is done. The use of the CGI. The CGI was done very well. It was because I know there are a lot of superhero movies where they're characters on the green screen, and you can obviously tell that they're on the green screen and all this other kind of stuff.
It's horrible.
The fight scenes, the CGI was done well. The VFX was done well, but I feel like the fight scenes were lacking between the two vampires because it was never really a fight. You see them.
What?
Okay, so what? All right. Let's
the subway scene alone.
Let's compare CGI fight scenes. Let's compare Black Panther and Killmonger versus Morbius and Milo. You actually saw T'Challa and Killmonger fighting. You saw them using moves. You saw them fighting each other. With Morbius and Milo, it was just wisps of smoke moving around and then one slow-mo, and then wisps of smoke moving around, another slow-mo. It's like you didn't see the fight. You didn't see what was going on.
As opposed to these are demon spirit-like entities.
This is not Dragon Ball Z. We don't need just pinging around all over the place. If you're gonna give me a fight scene, I want to see a fight.
This guy here is ridiculous, man.
You mean to tell me that you wouldn't have liked to see them actually fight? Like, they have super strength. Neither one of them really showcased them using their strength to actually fight.
Because they showed you when Morbius was attacking the soldiers, the mercenaries on the
I'm not
boat.
talking about them. They are unpowered people.
Yes, let's understand. They're giving you a glimpse on how his power works.
Right.
He's here. He's there. You can't even get a shot off because by the time you shoot, the bullets are way over here and he's over there. You're not supposed to be able to see these fights. You're supposed to. That's why they slowed it down. So this is what's happening right now, but you can't see it. So it's kind of like almost a world, like a shadow world. So if you were just walking by, yeah, you would see them because obviously there's physical. But if you're like not paying attention, you might have caught a glimpse of it out your eye because there's vampires among you. Like people are dying with holes in their neck, getting all the blood sucked out. It's not supposed to be, oh hey, there's Michael Morbius. It's like, what was that? And he just flew by you because he was fighting somebody, and it's cool, man. I can't believe you're standing.
So why slow it down then? Why give us a slow mo then?
For the audience. You're showing that down for the audience.
So why not give us an actual fight scene where we can see them fight? Because it's like if you're fighting someone, regardless of whether you have super speed or not, you're not going to spend the entire fight super speeding all over the place. If you're fighting someone, you don't think that at some point you're going to actually stand and fight?
If I had super speed, I'm super speeding everywhere. I might run into somebody like when A-Train. Wrong universe. It's a multiverse of madness. It's multiverse. Sorry. Anyway, I would. I can't believe you don't like the fight scenes either.
There was no fighting in it. That's what I'm saying. It's a fight scene with no fight.
No, the fight scene with no fight was in the new Matrix movie when Keanu Reeves is doing this to everybody, and they're falling like they're getting blessed at a church. Put that clip in. Those healers just go like that, and everybody falls. Oh, my rent still due. Sorry. Y'all know how I get. Anyway, the movie was awesome, dude. I can't believe that you don't like quality cinema.
It wasn't quality cinema. It wasn't. Egregious slow-mo scene. So we get the precursor as to Morbius is on the roof. He's running away from the FBI agents because they cornered him after he heard that the nurse had died, or the other doctor. I don't want to qualify her qualifications. I don't know if she's a nurse or a doctor.
You know you're sexy. It's all right.
Don't start that. Don't start that. But after she died, he found out that her blood was sucked out, so he's thinking that it was him. So he grabs his synthetic blood. He starts to make a break for it. FBI agents corner him in a lobby. They hear over their earbuds. He can hear because he has super hearing now, which is not the same as echolocation. So just want to point that out, that they use the two interchangeably. It's not the same. Echolocation is not the same as heightened sense of hearing. But he uses his heightened sense of hearing. He hears Tyrese's earbuds saying that the woman had her blood sucked out. So they're getting ready to stop him. He gets away. He jumps to the roof. He gets ready to go off the roof. He sees these wisps of wind that is about to carry him off. He's not sure exactly what is happening. So he stops. He turns himself in. When they get to the scene where he's confronting Milo about his use of the powers because Milo is going off the rails, he's killing people. They're in the subway station. He sees the wisps of wind again. And Milo's running towards him in slow motion. That slow motion scene of him seeing Milo, seeing the train, seeing Milo, seeing the train, seeing Milo, seeing the train. It lasted way too long.
Wow. They wanted you to be engulfed in the moment, man.
No,
This is Morbius' first flight. It was a special moment, and you didn't want to embrace that with Michael Morbius.
I'm not saying that the scene couldn't be set up that way because it's fine. The length of time that it took for him to look and 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 look, it was way too long. It was way too long.
Hey man, I enjoyed the movie.
And you have every right to enjoy the movie. More power to you.
I'm just saying, was it too long? Really? It was okay. So it was stretched out.
That scene, yeah.
I'm not gonna say it was not stretched out. It was stretched out. But again, the seriousness of it is they really wanted you to kind of, and I like that they didn't just make it there. They gave you a lead up to it,
right?
Because he was gonna fall off the roof. He was like, "Whoa,
yeah.
what's going on with this?" Again,
I understand it. I understand it.
Still figuring stuff out, but
and that part I understand.
Some guys want them to have it all worked out like that. So
no, it's not the same.
Hard out here for a hero.
Not the same.
It's hard out here for a hero, man.
Is he a hero though?
Dude, the guy is super. He's oozing superness.
But is he a hero? That was my question.
Well, technically, he's an anti-hero. He did murder the people on the boat.
But even as an anti-hero, the only heroic thing that he did was kill Milo.
Hell yeah! It was his fault Milo exists. I mean, come on.
I wouldn't classify.
Didn't Iron Man create the Ironmonger?
Yeah.
It was because.
But he was also trying to do good in the world.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to say Michael Morbius is not trying to do good in the world? He's trying to save people with synthetic blood. What's going on?
After he became the living vampire, I feel like until I see him go back to those pursuits of trying to save people, it's like he kind of abandoned that. Now, granted, he abandoned that because he had a lot of other stuff going on.
The man's murdering people. You want me to stop the murder vampire to go and try to save? She saved the little girl, by the way.
The little girl is still in the coma.
He saved her. He
didn't save her. No, he didn't.
He's in a medical-induced coma.
He saved her by putting her in a coma. Yeah, but she's not cured.
My goodness.
Is she cured? Is she cured?
No, not yet. Not yet. Like you just said, the man has a lot of things going on.
I understand. He was on the run from the police.
On the run from the police. He just lost his on-again, off-again girlfriend.
He didn't lose her. She's
best friend. Well, he didn't know that then because he was looking like, yeah, are you? No, she's dead. She's dead. And then when he looked at her, she's like, nah, I thought she was about to turn, but she did. Then he got mad. Then he flew. So he was fighting with the idea she's dead.
So
he didn't know she was coming back.
Going back to, you made me lose my thought. Because what we were talking about,
we're talking about Michael Morbius.
I know we're talking about Michael Morbius. Talking about him doing good or being an anti-hero or whatever. So he and Michael and Martine are sitting in a cafe. These dudes come in. They try to pass off these counterfeit $100 bills to the waitress.
Right.
Also, again, just they give her one, and she's like, "No, I can't take this. It's counterfeit." He's like, "No. Here's another one." She's like, "No, I can't take this." Gives her a third one. No, take this. She's like, "All right, fine, I'll take it." It's like, what?
Yeah, hell yeah. Because clearly these guys won't leave you alone unless you just take this. I'm going to just take it, get you guys out of here. You're clearly not about to pay the bill. I don't want no problems. I'll just throw these counterfeits away once you guys leave. because this is not going to be. And Michael Morbius, the good Dr. Michael Morbius, comes to the lab, shut down the whole counterfeit operations. Oh my goodness!
But
this dude is so super.
He
Dude is so super.
You would think the way they framed it, it made it seem like he was going to shut down because he was trying to do something good. But it wasn't that he was trying to do something good. He was just trying to take over the lab because he couldn't go back to his lab because his lab was a crime scene. So he had Martine go back. No. Let me get my point out. Let me get my point out. So he had Martine go back to the lab because his lab was a crime scene. Correct? So he needed to build the other lab. So why was it that he still went back to his own lab anyway?
It's hot, man.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. He.
What did he go in there for? Then, if you're saying he went back just for shits and giggles?
No, he had to go back because he was synthesizing the thing to kill Milo. But what I'm saying is that if you're creating a lab, you're stealing these counterfeiters' space to create.
Shit was so real, man. Can't bring everything the first trip, man. Sometimes the big shit's at the first lab. Gotta break back in.
But if you can't go back to your lab to work in your lab, how is it that you go back to your lab anyway to work in your lab? That's what I'm saying.
Come on, man. You know you need to spin that thing. You seen the thing he's made to spin the thing? You gotta go get the original, man. Come on, man. Your standards are too high,
it's
man.
Stupid.
This guy had to use. No.
You can say my standards are high about a lot of things, but the fact that the fact that you put it out there that I'm making this lab because I can't go back to my lab, and then you go back to your lab anyway, it makes no sense.
Hey man, he can't bring all that equipment over on the first run, man. You got some of that stuff. She can't. It's one lady, man. You wanted to bring all this equipment in one day?
Defending the hell out of this movie. You were defending this movie.
Was awesome.
No,
man.
It was not awesome.
It's based in the reality. It's not based in.
This flying vampire is based in reality.
Not reality, but it's in their version of reality. It's not like a fantasy world where you can just snap and all of a sudden all your equipment is there. I love that part. Everything didn't make it the first trip. I mean, what really did she bring over? Because he was like, I need you to go and
she brought her cat. That's what she brought. She brought a cat.
But thank goodness for that. Because that cat probably is going to get, like a little juice box later on if you run out of blood. We never explored this. I mean, we are already doing animal splicing, so how dark we getting, Disney? We're showing blood now at Disney.
But they didn't.
They
didn't show blood in the movie. They didn't show any blood in the movie. Morbius on the freighter, he slashed the dude.
Cut his hand.
I mean, that's different. But what I'm saying,
I'm sorry.
What I'm saying is that when he slashed the dude's neck on the freighter, it had the sound of him gurgling blood, like blood was coming out of his wound, but there was no blood shown.
That's how fast Michael Morbius venom is. I mean, Morbius. What's the guy's name, man? What's in this cup?
I don't know. Whatever's in the cup is the denial juice. That's what you've been sipping on.
Oh my God! It's delicious. I can't believe you didn't like this movie. The
last thing, there was the last part that I didn't particularly care for in the movie was the FBI agents, Tyrese and the other FBI agents.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
It seemed like they were in a perpetual act of good cop, bad cop, because Tyrese was like the serious agent. He's trying to do his job. He's trying to get it done. He's trying to, pose these questions to the witnesses. He's trying to figure out what's going on with this case. The other guy is he's trying to be witty. He's trying to be funny. He's trying to crack jokes. And they didn't land. They didn't play off each other well. It was like two entirely different, two different types of investigating trying to go on. It was it was so disjointed. He brings in, they go into interrogate Morbius, he brings in the holy water. He's like, and Tyrese is like, seriously? Holy water? And he was like, yeah, it can't be too prepared. It's triple blessed. It's like it's
Loved
the dynamic
All
between
of
the
it.
two of them. No, it was bad. It was bad.
Love Tyrese acting in this one. Haven't seen this type of acting since he did Baby Boy. Actually, when he was a soldier, when he was the general, and Mr. Franco was in the movie, that those guys don't like each other, by the way. Anyway, moving on. He came with it this time. He was a straight man. He was serious about his job. He was intelligent. You're used to seeing buffoons bumbling around trying to pick up the pieces of the evidence and trying to put it together. He put it together quick. It's this dude. Let's go pay him a visit. He talked to you. You work with that other doctor. I'll be back.
Right.
Right there, putting it together. Tyrese was right there and still brought him in. Still brought him in. With all your supernatural, you could have killed me, brought me in. This movie, you know what?
We didn't need the partner, the buddy partner with the comedic relief. Just because the jokes weren't that funny. It just seemed unnecessary. It seemed like he wasn't taking it seriously. You have this super serious FBI agent, like you say, who's getting the job done, who's figuring stuff out, and then you have the partner who just, oh look, security camera footage. Oh, I'll get it, since you don't do anything. It was like, it's just, like I said, it was disjointed.
Man.
It was disjointed. It didn't work for me.
This guy. Is it super? Just go ahead. Put it out there now.
Nope.
Let people know. Oh my God! What are you talking? The movie is so super. It's like, ooh, superness.
The movie is not super.
Morbius. We're talking about the same movie.
We're
right?
talking about the same movie. So look, no, because I've been harping on this movie. I've been talking about all the things that I didn't like, and you are obviously in support of this movie. So go. I want you to because you've been countering my dislikes and you've been giving your
valid. Go ahead. The word you're using is valid.
No, I'm not, because if I'm saying that your opinions are valid, I'm saying that mine are invalid. I'm not going to say that my opinions are invalidated. You have your opinions, I have my opinions.
That's one way to look at it. That's one perspective, I guess, you can throw out.
You've been throwing out counter arguments, so I don't want to hold the whole episode hostage. But I still want to also give you your opportunity to speak your piece.
Of the movie being bad?
No, I wanted you to give your opinion of the movie. I want you to be able to talk about. I want you to be able to talk about some of the things that you liked about the movie, since you said the movie is awesome.
The movie is awesome. The movie is awesome. Everything, it fits. Everything hit. Everything slaps. I don't know what these kids are saying these days. Everything slaps. So the pacing is good. The story is good. Pretty decent origin story. CGI, special effects, VFX is good. Killed it on the acting. Okay. Full disclosure. I might have fell asleep through the last part.
Wow. And the movie wasn't even that long. It was an hour and 44 minutes, way shorter than any other superhero movie that's come out in recent years.
Hey man, I had some personal things going on. I was tired, man. So that's all. But I woke up on the key points. I was watched it all the way to like the last fight scene. And then I kind of, dozed off. But when I woke back up, I was right where I needed to be. I didn't miss nothing.
Okay.
Milo died, as he should. He was horrible. He was out here just sucking everybody off, man. Pause. Yeah, that sounds bad. But I'm saying, look at the little story they gave you. They showed you how he was happy. He was dancing. He was going out to the club. He was meeting women.
Milo was the only character that I felt like was developed from the adult perspective. Like, after it showed how desperate he was to have that cure, how hurt he was when Michael wouldn't give it to him. So you can understand his motivation is behind stealing it. And then now that he was able to overcome that illness, you could, like you said, you could see he was happy. You saw that progression in him as to why he felt that way. And you saw him go out, try to have his like normal life. He went to the bar, he was chilling, he was trying to talk to a girl, boyfriend interjected. So you can see how he and came back from the from when he was a kid. He doesn't like bullies, he doesn't like to be bullied. They try to intimidate him. He like, all right, you know what? I'm not about to make a scene in this bar. I'm gonna step off. And he fell back and he waited till they got outside and then he slashed them, sucked their blood out. And it's like I understand Milo's art. Matt Smith, I felt like he acted out those, especially those emotional scenes when he was talking to the doctor. He was like, "It's always been Michael. You've always favored Michael." You know, that scene where he was like upset and like really mad. Like I felt that emotion. I didn't have any emotion.
Didn't see
like
that murder coming either.
I didn't see that murder. I didn't because it felt like this doctor spent his, because even the doctor said, I dedicated my life to you. He's been by Milo's side this entire time. So he was like, no, it hasn't always been Michael. I knew that Michael could take care of himself, so I came and I stood by your side. I've supported you this whole time. But you know, it's Milo's like it's always Michael. Michael's a golden child. Michael is always the one his favor. So it's like I understand that emotion coming from Milo. But the thing about it is you don't see that emotion coming out of anybody else. You don't see that type of acting coming out of anybody else. You don't see that drive coming out of anybody else. Yes, Michael is passionate about, you know, wanting to save people, wanting to cure people, but where's that, you know, where's that frustration when, you know, the experiments didn't work? You know, where's that, like, I'm angry because I want this to work, because I want to do this for people. I want this to work for these other people. Like, where's that emotion? Where's that fire?
You didn't see that when they sat on the bench and they were having a conversation and he told them we're running out of time? You didn't feel that?
From Morbius, no, I didn't.
Ouch, man. That hurts.
I didn't feel emotion. I didn't feel that emotion. The
guy is literally doing animal splicing to DNA, going the extra mile to try to do illegal stuff to find a cure for himself. I see the humanity.
I see the methods, but I didn't get a feeling of desperation coming from him. I didn't get a feeling was like this is it. This is like, after this I don't know what else to do. I didn't feel like it didn't feel like to me like this is our last option. This is our last hope. I have to do this. This is all I have left. I didn't see that. I didn't feel that coming from Morbius.
Damn it, man. Damn it, man.
Giving you my opinion, my take on it.
If you agree with Spider, why don't you go ahead and just drop one of those thumbs up in the comments or something. Just put, you know, hashtag Spider next to it. Or if you're one of those people who have more grounded, realistic standards for a nice little cinema blockbuster that you need your heroes to kind of get through these beats and let's get to see some cool shit, go ahead and drop a thumbs up with a hashtag Mr. VIP in the comments. And we can take it to the people and find out on this one, is Morbius super? Goddamn right he's super. You goddamn right he's super. Goddamn right he's super. He's super, man.
But yeah, if
see the shit he did with his ears and stuff.
Oh my god, I don't want to talk about the ears. Oh, this awful.
Hey, Morbius.
Awful.
You and Blade get together, sign me up. I'm gonna buy my ticket in advance to see you and Blade get together and kick some ass.
Yeah, but you do
man, that's gonna be epic.
But if you like this video, let us know below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment, hit the bell so you can be notified when the next video goes up. If you want to hear the podcast, if you want to take us on the go, find us on any podcast streaming service so you can answer the question for yourself. Is it super?
All things are super here. Come get these conversations. That's it. I'm finished.
But thank you all for joining us this week. Until next time, we see you guys again.